Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So in this one, we are taking a look at the new Season Pass card, Ghost Spider, and some cool Day 1 decks for her. So what is Ghost Spider? Ghost Spider is a 2-cost, 3-power with the text, on reveal, the last card you played moves here. So finally, move getting some more support. I think the archetype has been wanting more support for a while. Got a little bit of move support with Jeff, but this is definitely more direct in terms of helping out our move payoff cards. I think this is going to be an interesting one, mainly because I don't expect the card to have a huge, crazy impact tonight upon release. However, as the season goes on and some of the other synergistic cards get released, namely things like Spider-Man 2099 and Silk, I think there is a lot of potential here for the move archetype if you are a fan of it. On the flip side of the coin, if you are not super into move, maybe this means that this is a month you can skip out on the season pass. This is a season pass card, and generally if you're going to spend any money in Snap, season pass is the way to go. I pretty much always get it, even if I'm not doing a whole lot with the card, kind of like with Nimrod when he first came out. And I expect something similar to happen here, where Ghost Spider might get off to a little bit of an underwhelming start in the first week or two, but as those additional cards come out and more support is added for the archetype this month, plus the fact that 2 of the cards that are releasing this month are releasing in Series 4, so hopefully they're a bit more accessible, and they're going to be doing those token rebate things to help with token costs a bit. So hopefully we see more people get to engage with the other move cards, and as a result, Ghost Spider ends up being a better card. But if you should get this one or not really comes down to whether or not you're a fan of the move archetypes. I personally have never been the biggest move person, but I do like it from time to time. But for me, the big thing is just making sure you get the season pass card. So if you do happen to pull a very lucky Series 5 card, you don't end up getting a pass card that you weren't super interested in anyway. Aside from that, the season pass is generally the better value in the game in terms of getting credits and gold and variants and whatnot. So for that reason, I think Ghost Spider is a pretty easy buy, even if you're not the hugest move fan in the world. Seems like an okay card, but I don't expect it to shake things up quite as drastically as we saw with Nebula last season. But let's take a look at some decks here that I'm going to be giving a spin with Ghost Spider on day 1. So as previously mentioned, I don't think this card is going to fully reach its true potential until we see some more of the support added, mainly Spider-Man 2099, as he is the most direct and potentially impactful synergy with Ghost Spider herself. But in the meantime, we do have some decks that can make use of the effect. First off is the Stature Black Bolt deck. A lot of people moved away from this one after Stature and Black Bolt both got hit for a point of power. However, the deck is still putting up really good numbers for the few people that are still playing it, so I figured why not try Ghost Spider in a shell like this, because we obviously want a critical mass of movement effects to make our miles nice and cheap. Kind of makes sense. Also, given the fact that the lane lock stuff is popular, Ghost Spider has a bit of added utility, as if we go to fight for a locking down storm lane or something, or if we get Spider-Man in a lane we were previously fighting for, Ghost Spider can also help us out on the final turn by pulling out whatever card we played in a lane that we probably weren't going to win anyway. So if you want just a kind of good card style deck, I think this is a good way to go. You're not leaning fully into the move synergy, you're really just using it as a miles enabler, but in spite of this deck not being as popular as it once was, I think there's still a lot of power here. Speaking of lane control, we have an updated version of my move control deck. So this is a deck I played a while ago, where the idea is more about moving around your opponent's stuff with things like Juggernaut and Polaris and Arrow, rather than just moving your own stuff, though we do have some ways to do that too. But yeah, Kraven gets a lot of benefit here. This is a deck that's really going to appreciate Silk as well when she comes out. We have Storm to help close out a lane. Vision can help us get back in there if we don't get the lane. Shuri is a nice power spike because we can curve out Shuri into either Vision or Arrow, which can be really good, or even fit her in with Miles on the final turn. Jessica is the one spot I'm a little bit unsure about. I think you just want another 4-drop to help close out the Storm lane. and Jessica seems like a good way to do that. Plus, if anything goes wrong in the storm lane, worst case, we could always pull her out with Ghost Spider, and she should still get the +4 bonus. But that's definitely the flex spot. If you have another card you might want to play in this list, that's probably the card I would cut. But if you like move stuff, but you care more about controlling the flow of the game, this might be the deck to try out for you. Then we have a moving Sarah Surfer. So definitely a bit more of an experimental build. I've never been the biggest movement player, but this seems like a decent way to go in. Just a lot of the good movement cards are 3 power. So being able to combine that with Sarah and Surfer seems good. Ghost Spider gives us another good 2-drop that goes with our general game plan. This one, probably there's some room for refinement, I'd imagine, once we get our hands on the card and see how it plays. But if you're a fan of Silver Surfer, as well as general movement strategies, this might be an interesting version to try out. And then the last deck we have here is the all-in move deck. This is the classic. We're just jamming pretty much all the move cards we can into a deck, and we're calling it a day. Even Heimdall. Everyone expects the Heimdall from move, but hey, sometimes it's still good enough. I do think move does have some potential versus all the lane lock stuff going around, as it doesn't really care about their Spider-Man, and sometimes, depending on positioning, the Storm either. So maybe because lane lock is a big part of the meta, this list will have a bit more success than it has in the past, with the addition of Ghost Spider to help enable some of our move synergies, like Multiple Man, Human Torch, and Vulture. And there we have it, some day 1 decks for Ghost Spider. I'll probably be streaming on Reset tonight, trying out the new card. So if you want to see some gameplay with it, feel free to check that out, link in the description below. And as always, all the decks we went over here will be in the link in the description if you want to import them yourself. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for Ghost Spider? Do you have any neat ideas you want to try out with her on launch? Or are you also kind of waiting for more of the other Spider-Verse cards to come out and enable some more of that Ghost Spider synergy? Let me know in the comments below, but that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.